Next guest, Chicago, was born and raised in Atlanta. Okay, hey, graduate of CN High School here in Chicago. Came out at age 14 as a transgender. I want to welcome the StreetWise Street Scene, Keesha Jekins. Welcome to the show, StreetWise Street Scene. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Welcome to the show. Streetwise Street Scene is real, universal, and we're talking about, homeless facts in all different kind of ways. And we want to bring the light and awareness to situations that needs to be brought attention to. First, you came out to age 14, transgender. My first question, I always have beliefs of people born that way. Were you born that way? With thoughts like that?
I had always have thoughts about being who I am. You feel me? There was never a point where you just wake up in the morning, just start putting on some makeup. You just can't just wake up and just say, "Oh, I'm this way." You feel me? It's either you feel it already.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
All right. Now, shelter system, and you're currently homeless.
Yeah.
And Streetwise is about bringing awareness in the causes of people who are homeless, and you're staying in a shelter. Why are females, and males, transgender placed in women's shelters? Because that's where you are right now, in a women's shelter.
Yes. They placed us there because they say it's supposed to be a safer environment for transgender youth, as far as issues goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, so they make sure that we can be safe. That's what they're saying.
Okay, so how do you think that you are perceived by the women in the shelters, and how are you treated?
Stereotypically treated. There's some disrespect. People don't understand different religious beliefs. Different people that I have to deal with on a regular basis, and understanding.
Okay, so the whole purpose is that I really believe that transgender should have a shelter and a place for them to be, because it's a double-edged side. If you're on the men's side, a lot of things negative can happen to you. For example,
sexual harassment, or rape, gay bashing, all type of.
And so if you put on the women's side, that's the same thing. What are some of the things that happen over there, as far as what your point?
Some people are curious about where I do, how I hide things, and some people are curious of why you made the decision to become like this. You're an abomination to Christ and all this other stuff.
Okay.
So,
now, what other options do homeless transgenders have?
There aren't any.
Access. No other options?
There's no other shelters, no places for us to go.
And then how do you feel about that?
It's upsetting. And this is something that should have been talked about a long time ago. So.
Okay, so what do you think are some of the necessary steps that you need to do, or the community needs to do, to make this a reality?
Well, what needs to happen is that people need to start speaking up as women and other people as transgenders to come together as one unity and start talking about the issue. Because there's a lot of homeless LGBT youth that's out here and that are struggling in the streets and doing things.
Okay, well, how can the communities and the agencies that provide services to the homeless, address the need for homeless transgenders? How do you feel about that? How are they treating you, and what do they need to do as far as helping you and people who are transgender, achieve the goal of having a shelter?
First of all, they need to have a sit down with another transgender youth that actually been through something like this.
Okay.
I feel like that they need to have someone that knows and been through a situation before they sit up there and make another decisions.
And what do you think the transgenders can do to bring, to raise awareness? Without them, because it's got to start somewhere.
Well, it first starts with a person speaking out and someone that's going to stand up for their rights as a person. Because it's not right for us to be on the floor with women, and it's not right for us to be on the floor with a male, because it's too much issues like stereotypical racism, all type of different beliefs, and all the other stuff. So I feel like that they need to do more than just sit around here and just than what they're doing right now.
We have Sister Eeya here. Come on and get in the shot, Sister Eeya. We have Sister Eeya in the scene, and you guys actually stay in the same shelter.
Right, we're in the same shelter.
Okay, so I want to give you an opportunity to put your point of views on this situation and what needs to be done about this.
The first thing that needs to be done is we need to have open and safe dialogue,
Okay.
which is not allowed in the shelter. The shelter is very controlled. The women are intimidated by the staff. There are cliques, and the staff plays off the different groups against each other. We have women from all walks of life in the shelter, from all different types of belief systems, perceptions, and having transgenders placed on in a women's shelter, which should be a safe place for women, creates a situation where the women feel intimidated because at the end of the day, you're in a safe place for women with men.
Okay.
There are women who are there. Let me finish. There are women there who are survivors of domestic abuse. There are women there who, while in a shelter, have been physically abused on site, on the premises of the shelter.
Okay.
So women don't have a sense of safety and security starting off. And then you create this situation whereas no matter how an individual presents himself or herself, we react to that individual from a very primal place. In other words, you're beautiful. I tell you you're beautiful all the time. But I still know that you are biologically a male. And so although I as a human being feel that you have the right to coexist and you have the right to live your life, you're not infringing on my rights or anyone else's, I feel that my dignity as a woman is being violated because this allows any predator to present himself as a female and be placed in the women's shelter. There's no way of gauging who comes in.
And I get what you're saying. Now, Keisha's pretty cool, but then
Right.
in the past, there's been some people who come on the same side, and let's say what transgender is a little bit more aggressive, not aggressive as Keisha.
Exactly.
So what do we need to do as far as having a situation where transgenders can have their own facility? What are some of the suggestions you making?
It starts with the women themselves and also the brothers in the shelters.
Okay.
Because the brothers themselves have created an atmosphere where a transgender does not feel safe.
Okay.
And that needs to be addressed.
So it started on that side.
It starts with whoever is in charge of that facility to make sure that men and women are safe.
Okay.
So they should be held accountable for that.
And dialogue is number one. First, you got to start it all. If you can't talk about it, and that's why we're talking about it here on StreetWise StreetScene.
When there's a meeting, it's not a meeting. It's not a meeting where the women can actually have conversations and be. It's very controlled. The women are intimidated and tossed into the street at the whim. There is no process for putting a woman in the street. So if you speak up, and I have to commend Keisha because she has done something that the women there have not done as long as I've been there, and that she has not allowed anyone to intimidate her.
Okay.
She has spoken up. Now she's gotten away with it because she's a transgender, and they feel. The staff may be aware that she'll take it to another level and be responded to in terms of discrimination from the transgender community will respond. But the first thing that the women and the men in the shelter need to do is come together and discuss our common issues and work towards how do we create the resources, the housing that we need. It has to come from us. We have to be the ones to take it to the next level. But we also have to hold the shelters accountable for the things that are going on in the shelter that should not be going on. People should not be subjected to anything.
And your situation is being homeless. You know, everyone all has a story. And what was your situation? How did you?
My situation was I came from different situations, dealing with boyfriends, domestic situations, jail, prostitution.
Okay.
Certain things I had to do to survive in life. You feel me? And I was doing a time in my life where I got locked up and I lost my career because I was dealing with a very abusive partner in my time. So I had to sit up here and change routes. You feel me?
Now, we do have a call-in show, and we do have a caller that's on the air. Caller, welcome to the show. Streetwise Street Scene, question or comment?
I would just like to make a comment. I was watching the show, and I really do like what Gerald Rawlings did say, and I do like what the other people are saying right now, you know, about the shelters and stuff, because it is hard for people that are growing up right now, you know, because they don't have, like, the proper guidance maybe in life and stuff. And I just think your show is really great. And you guys need to really start airing more about stuff like that, because that's really what's going on out here today.
You know, and I thank you for your call, and you're right. We're definitely moving that direction, trying to keep it on the cutting edge, but also keeping it 100, keeping it real, and talking about the issues that are going out in the community. But not just talking about it, trying to bring awareness to it. And my thing is solutions. What do we need to do to make these things a reality so everybody can be safe and everybody can be as one? What do we have to do?
Dialogue is number one.
Okay, we got that.
We have
Dialogue's
to
number
step
one.
out of our fear.
Yes.
We have a lot of fear, and fear is used in the shelter as a way of keeping people in control. We have to step beyond that fear. We have to learn to advocate for ourselves and also educate ourselves. No one knows where the hierarchy begins or ends. Mm-hmm. No one knows how the grievance process, if it's actually a fair and equitable process. So we have a responsibilities as consumers, because we're actually consumers. Someone is paying for us to be there, to be aware of what rights do we have as consumers. And there is a system. There's a Consumer Affairs Office that you can go and file a complaint. There is the Commission of Human Rights, where you can go and file a complaint. If you don't file a complaint and document what's going on, no one knows,
okay,
and no one can
We got
respond.
one more caller. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to Streetwise Street Scene. Question or comment? Caller, you on the air? Welcome to the show. All right, well, we'll probably get them back on the show. Well, you know what? Hey, this has been a full show. I want to thank Keesha. I want to thank Sister Eeya. That's right, keeping it real. My brother Leonard Roberts.
Thank you.
Young Streetwise vendor Gerald Rollins and Jerome White for making this show a success. We're definitely going to keep it real. We're going to be here every Friday at 6 o'clock to the 28th of June. Hey, until next week, Chicago, stay focused, keep it real, and stay streetwise. Peace out, Chicago.